Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. You are always most welcome. Well, I promised recently that I was going to look at this Arthur Ward, who recently did the Airfix Boys book of model kits, Airfix kit. And several of you picked up on the fact that he'd also done this book. Now, I had the book already, and I said, yes, I have that book. So let's have a look at this one too. Now, I have to say, Arthur Ward is a bit of an Airfix fanboy, which is there's nothing wrong with that, you know, but you'll notice in this book that most of it a lot of the focus is on Airfix. It's quite a big book, so I don't want to take too much of your time. So I'll try and flick through it relatively quickly. I won't pause too long on each page, so you might, if you see something that's interesting to you, I recommend you pause the video, or if you watch it back later, pause it. Because you might see something of interest in it, I'm sure. Lots of nostalgia within this, the covers of this book, and of course quite amusing memories for me, because some of you recall that very first model at the show at the top there, which is the Matchbox Honey Stewart tank, which I actually did a review on, and during that review, somewhat embarrassingly, disgraced myself by ruining it, really. It had these metallised tracks on this particular model from Matchbox, and Mr. John Bevan, a good supporter of the channel and a subscriber, had loaned me his kit only for me to get these tracks in my hand, and they were just completely stiff, like they were made of normal polystyrene. It was really weird. And actually, I've got to say that John will confirm this. He's recently commented. It was mentioned a few months ago when I was talking about Matchbox kits in March, and he said, "Oh, don't worry about it. I got another one of those actually as well." He built the kit that I wrecked by shattering the tracks in several places, and he bought another one. He built that one and got some aftermarket tracks. Then he bought another Matchbox, and it was the same. He said that it must just be, like I said, it must just be that unusual mix of the way they did the rubber with this silver metallisation must have made it just harden over time. Very strange, but anyway, it's quite funny. One of my greatest hits. Not really my finest hour, to be honest, but I know people still laugh about this to this day. But anyway, let's have a look at this book. So I'll zoom you in and say I won't dwell on each page too long, because it's got quite a lot of pages, this one. I'll just have a quick flick through with you, and you're bound to see things that you like and remember. So here we've got some Airfix, and I say it sort of majors on Airfix, really. From Airfix to Tamiya, as he puts it here. As the Airfix 24th scale Spitfire. Yes, not really the company's finest hour, although it was a big seller, of course, in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, here we've got a sort of history, including the Tamiya catalogue. Tamiya catalogue with a Royal Navy Buccaneer? Really? Hang on a minute, that's very interesting. I don't recall Tamiya having a Buccaneer. Is that right? Can you see that? It's not my imagination, is it? That's definitely a Royal Navy Buccaneer on the left. How very interesting. What year was that? 1972 Tamiya kit catalogue, which included a Starfighter and a Buccaneer. I find that very interesting. Well, there's something that's worth researching, folks. Have to go and have a look at that one, won't we? Because I think that's of great interest. I'd like to get my hands on a Tamiya Buccaneer. I bet that would be quite a collector's item, don't you think? Interesting. By the way, I'm also a fanboy today. I've got my Airfix cup mug. History and development of scale models. Talks about things like, you know, early models in wood and how certain scales came to be, things like that. And books and, you know, the sort of reading material that people used to look at as references. Early toys, early models. Classic brands, here we go. Airfix, early products, accurate miniatures. Airfix, it's mostly Airfix in here, let's say. Now, here's an interesting one. A couple of you picked up on me talking about this in the Airfix April chat that I did. And look, we talked about this FN rifle when Airfix did these guns They did a Thompson and they did the FN rifle. And it said, the FN rifle in all its glory, look on the orange card. But now I had one of these, complete with bullets and slightly disappointingly safe, flexible bayonet, which was disappointing. So I stuck that in my sister, it wasn't going to be a problem. And it says, fully detailed authentic replica of the new automatic rifle in use with NATO forces, includes detachable magazine, 9 polythene safety bullets with automatic spring-loaded feed for firing. So they were supposed to be harmless. Not sure the cat thought that at the time, but anyway. Repeat trigger action, folding back sight, detachable polythene safety bayonet, adjustable carrying strap. Oh, every boy wanted that, and I managed to get one. I can't think what I did, but I remember it's something very good, and perhaps it was a school report. And my mum said, yes, you can have the rifle. How times have changed, you know. These days the kids get told, yes, you can have the new iPhone for that great school report. But back in the 70s it was, yes, you can have the FN rifle. Killer! Just a different culture, wasn't it, really? Look at this, the Airfix Mark 1 Albatross. I'll zoom you back in. Mark 1 Albatross here, World War 1 Albatross D5. That. Airfix mini planes. I don't recall those. Airfix Backman. Okay, it's a partnership. Farm stock animals we've got there, which we talked about previously. And then we've got some of the early 72nd scale, 1965 Messerschmitt BF 109 G6. Oh, it does look ropey, doesn't it, compared to a modern one? But anyway. We've got the Chieftain tank on the right. I had that one. I built that in 75, so it wasn't new. And then the ready-made. Now I had a lot of these. These ready-made, like a polythene vehicle, military vehicle, half track. And here we've got the pocket money Typhoon. It says 1959 was the year of the author's birth, so Arthur Ward is a little bit older than me, it has to be said. Quite a bit. Over here we've got Avro 504K and the SS France. The mould no longer exists, isn't that a shame? What a shame. The omnibus, the World War I buses, and the Dennis fire engine. Here we go, figures, Sheriff of Nottingham, and we've got the Cowboys and Indians, Wild West. Some quite interesting sets there. Then we're getting into the artwork here, Lightning, HMS Hotspur, HMS Cossack, and Drummond-Widgeon. Look at that, Short Sunderland. The Handley Page Hampton, 1968, look at that. Now then, just a quick word. I nearly said, just a quick word from my sponsors that are peeping at the corner there, ICM. Not really my sponsors as such, but they've said they're going to do a Handley Page Hampton next year, aren't they? 48 scale. Watch out for that. Anyway, I'm digressing. I'm digressing. Roy Cross artwork for the Sheriff of Nottingham set, Sherwood Castle. And then we've got the figures lot. Bedouin Arabs, the rough early drawing, and then the final version, Lawrence of Arabia style. And we've got Russian infantry from World War II. We've got the Moon Men. I thought that some of this was a bit fanciful, I've got to say. The hovering Moon Man on his hover pack, I thought that was really bizarre. But anyway, German infantry set. There's the artwork. And there's the actual box. And there's Brian Knight, the artist that did. He was Roy Cross's. Took over from Roy Cross, didn't he? I think. Caesar's Gate play set with all the Romans. And then we've got the Cromwell tank, isn't it? Cromwell tank from the combat pack, from the 32nd scale combat pack. Battle of Stalingrad Battlefront set here. Some I remember and some I don't remember. Yes, I remember these. So we've got our British Commandos box. James Bond 007. Look at this, 24 scale construction kit of the Toyota 2000 GT from You Only Live Twice. Super hovercraft. Is that radio control? Even works on water. I don't remember that, if I'm honest. I don't remember the hovercraft. Remember these though, the Lotus Cortina and the Volkswagen Beetle, or the Volkswagen 1200 as they say. And then we got the famous Spitfire, 24 scale Spitfire, and this is the classic Roy Cross and Gerald Scarborough books. Really nice books actually. I actually had that book, and I think I gave it to somebody and never got it back. And then I later got it from the library. I got it from the library in the Lake District where I used to live. We've got Lancaster and a Harrier GR7. We've got the Swedish Mustang there. And these are the ones I was talking about in the other book. They're very interesting. The diorama sets that you see in your back. The diorama sets. Now I think these are rather nice. I think these are rather good, these diorama sets, to be honest. And they were very popular as well in the late 70s, early 80s. Forward command post, that's a particularly good one. They had the RAF control tower, airfield control tower, in its original version and its later 70s version. Came out in 1959, it came out, wow. Oh, yeah, it didn't really age in that respect, did it? And then you've got various artworks, you've got the Stuka, the Starfighter, Harrier GR3, and the Red Arrows Hawk, Spitfire 8C, Sea King, Vulcan, like the South Atlantic Campaign Vulcan, the Saab Viggen, and the Westland Lynx. And a lot of you remember this. There's the Buccaneer, which was a really fairly terrible kit, to be honest. This particular one. This is in the Hella days, of course. And it gives you the full history about all that in the background, you know. And you'll recognise one or two of these photos that were in the other book. Posing with the Harrier at Wittering, with the model of the Harrier. Don't know why they're all sort of crouching down. I find that, like they're all squatting. What's all that about? That's a bit strange, isn't it, to be honest? Anyway. Why they couldn't stand up and do it, I don't know. And then you've got all sorts of... It's then going off into the other brands. AMT. I'll zoom back for this. Things that some of us might not be very familiar with, including me. Batsky, where Aurora Plastics. Aurora did some really wild stuff, didn't they? Lots of strange figures and a bit of everything really. Mr. Spock, Star Trek, Centurion tank, a Fokker E3 there. All sorts here. Churchill tanks, Newport, Diamond Bomber, Bandai. Bandai have done some very interesting things over the years, of course, including the Star Wars products, which they're very, very famous for, even though it doesn't mention it here, unfortunately. Dragon, famous for their military models, particularly armoured vehicles. Eagle War, I've never heard of them, if I'm honest. That's before my time, I think. Eagle War, good lord. Eagle. Well, I never. Oh, yeah, quite a few things they did. What year was this then? 64. Definitely before my time, that is. Huh. It sounds like Eagle Comic, doesn't it? It's almost like, is it the same logo? Is it an association with the comic? It might be, don't know. It used to be Eagle Comic, you know. And then Esky. I think I don't know why he included these in the book, because he's just float. I mean, Esky kind of deserves a little bit more. A bit more than just half a page. It's not even half a page. Fuller, yeah. German company, I remember them. They're still going, aren't they? I think. But don't they do railways now or something? Frog. Now then, here's one that a lot of us will remember. Flies right off the ground, it stands for. Frog Spitfire, look at that. Little penguin plastic racing car. Then you've got your Frog Kitty Hawk. And you've got like a combat series, like a dogfight double type of thing. Then you've got a Spitfire in Junkers Ju-88. There's an Avro Lancaster as well. A lot of stuff, Frog, didn't they? Shackleton. Whitley Bomber, look at that. Some interesting subjects, actually. And we've got a big howitzer. Gosh. Super routine, Spitfire. The attackers. Wow, very interesting, different Spitfire and Flying Bomb. Well, I've actually reviewed that, haven't I? Not only a year or two ago. Top of the Frog kit. Then we get Fujimi Spitfire Mark V, which doesn't look right at all. I've got to say, around the cowl, the engine. The artwork is not filling me with any enthusiasm. Can you see what I mean? Let's zoom it in a bit. Look just behind the prop and spinner. That doesn't really look right, does it? Anyway, British Tank Commander. What tanks are they supposed to be? Very strange choices there. Hasegawa. Again, like I say, I'm not sure why he bothered doing this in a way, because he's almost paying lip service to these. There's half a page there on Hasegawa, and you could write a book on them, couldn't you, really, to be fair? They've made a lot of kits. Hawk models. Yes, I think I remember them, actually. Yeah, was it? Oh, maybe not. 51? I'm not that old, folks, I'm telling you now. Perhaps my brother had them. I seem to remember the name. Hysterex, they did a lot of figures. Hella. Again, Hella, I don't think we're going to get that much info on them. I mean, they had a big time with Airfix, of course. In the 1980s, they had a big getting together with Airfix. The Battle of France. Very one-sided battle, that was. See, again, we didn't get much info on Hella, did we? Impact, with an N. Impact. I've never heard of them. I don't know about you guys, but it's a new one on me. 1960s, very short-lived company, it says. Italeri, before they dropped the second A. Italeri. Well, again, Italeri, I mean, that's it. Half a page of writing. There's not much, is there, really? Johan turbine car. Never heard of them. 1950s. Cleanware. Gosh, never heard of these guys either. British company. Oh. Lifelike models. Another one I've not really heard of. Or have I? Maybe I've seen those guns. Those guns look familiar, the Western guns. And the flintlocks, that does ring a bell. Lindbergh, now here we go. There's a company that's American company. Yeah, they started in the 40s, didn't they? They're quite a good company. And then Matchbox, now then, needs no introduction, does it? I mean, he only does a little brief story about them, really. He doesn't show a huge amount, showing the Hayford there, which will be the Red Range, I think, isn't it? Citroën Legree, 11 Legree. Leggera. Monogram, so that's it for Matchbox. Monogram, yeah, he's really paying lip service to some of these brands. He's just dashing through just an odd photo, not really giving us a great deal here. Monogram, again, deserves a lot more. American company, huge range of models. Based in Chicago. Yeah. Some interesting things, Sequest. Very varied things I don't recognise personally, but I'm sure you guys in the States may recognise some of these. Huh. Oops. Nitto I have Yeah, Nitto I have seen actually. Interesting. Ira, I've never heard of them. An early 50s company. Renwall. 1940s. Gosh. Oh, they did airliners, interestingly. Renwall blueprint models. Okay. Revell, now then, here's a company that we do now. Not quite the company they once were, I don't think. I think they used to be okay, really. They used to be okay, you know, in the 70s, 80s. It's gone downhill, really. A succession of changes in their management, whereas Airfix have actually sort of got better in many ways. Sadly, I don't think Revell have. Gone the other way, really. As I have spoken about at length, look at that Moonraker, Roger Moore and Moonraker. Interesting because, of course, Airfix had their own Moonraker space shuttle. Revell kit catalogue. I mean, only inspiring, isn't it, really? Look at the catalogue, 77. When you compare that to Matchbox's catalogue in 77, it's not terribly exciting, that, is it? Eurofighter EFA, with some fairly dodgy artwork, really. Red October submarine. Look for Red October. Tie-in. And then you've got some interesting ones. You've got the Purdy's TR7 from the New Avengers, or the Saints Jaguar XJS, 1979. Cool. How cool is that? That's one I'd quite like to have as a collector's item anyway. I'd like them both, actually. Before I go live with this show, I might start trawling the eBay to see if I can get my hands on that. Model Kit Collection 2003. It looks a bit more inspiring, but it just majoring on one kit. Look at it, but anyway. Austin Powers Corvette. With Felicity Shagwell figure. Oh dear, I don't think you'd be allowed that these days, but anyway. Rambo, First Blood Part 2. Oh my goodness. Riverboat attack set. Messerschmitt BF 109E over here. The Bat Boat, look at that. Kursk submarine, oops. MRCA Tornado, 1976. Funny how they were doing a lot of things exactly the same as Airfix at the same time, isn't it? They try and avoid that these days, don't they? Eddie Rickenbacker's Spad from 1976, from the First World War, of course. Sopwith triplane. Now here's one I had. Here's one I did have, and I made a right mess of it, I can tell you. This one, the Typhoon. That kit I had in about 78, 77, 78, with that same artwork on it as well. PRG, yeah. I didn't do a good job of it, I can tell you. It wasn't terribly impressed with the kit either. So they were poor and I was poor, let's be honest. The 72nd Corsair there. There's quite a lot of Revell, isn't there? Club de Mer Pontiac, good lord. Outlaw with Robin Hood Fink. What's that about? Bizarre. Freddie Laker's Skytrain. Eh? What is it? DC-10, isn't it? DC-10? Yeah, DC-10. And then Jacques Cousteau's Calypso, his diving vessel. He used to use. Very famous diver, Cousteau, and discoverer. Volkswagen tour bus, look at these. Thor missile. Gosh. I thought Thor was a British missile. Anyway. Rosebud Kitmaster. Don't know these guys, I've got to be honest. Okay. So this company were bought by Airfix in 1962 in the end. So all these became Airfix kits. Interesting. Interesting. And they're into the trains, weren't they, yeah? Prairie tank engine over here. Skybirds, don't know. This is 1930s stuff, you know. Wow. Look at the advert. You know, that says it all. Very 1930s, isn't it? Skybird series, and then we get to Tamiya. Shunsaku Tamiya, Mr. Tamiya. Wow. Mr. Tamiya. Yoshio Tamiya. Shansuku's father was the originator of the company. There we go. Zoom you in. I think Tamiya deserve it, don't they? They deserve a closer look. There we go. And here we go. Military figures. I mean, they've got to be the most preeminent kit maker. But look at these. This is a couple from the 1950s. Whoops. Battleship Yamato. Look at that. Gosh. And we've got the M42 anti-aircraft Duster. Schwimmwagen version of the Kubelwagen. The Cromwell Mark IV. Some nice kits here. The Panther tank. The original Panther tank. Look at the artwork. Let's just zoom in on this. Oh my goodness. From New Year 1962. Good lord. Okay, and then you can see how they developed, especially with their sort of branding. Logo change, became a bit bolder. Inaugural edition of Tamiya magazine, 1985, first time it came out, and then the 100th edition, and then now this catalogue, 1982 catalogue before you, I had that in period in 1982. Yes, I did. Sorry, 84, isn't it? Sorry, I said 82 because it's showing the 82 Brabham, Nelson PK's turbocharged Brabham BT52, I think it is. Sure that's right. And then you've got the Renault, Formula 1 Renault from 1980 below. So I'm judging it by the cars. There's the famous six-wheeler P34 Tyrrell, which is still around today and very popular it is. And it's got some wonderful dioramas. What's this? Is this Francois Verlinden, does it say? I don't know who made these, but they're very much in the style of Francois Verlinden, aren't they? Look at that. This one. Metal model figure. 25th scale. Okay. It talks about the radio control Tiger tank, which was very popular, it has to be said. In fact, I think 16 scale. I think my brother may have had that actually. Back in the early 70s. Half track released in 1999. Famo. Yes, I saw that at a recent model show, the Airfix model show, so they'd done that. It was really good. The Fairy Swordfish Torpedo Bomber from 1999. Look at that. I mean, this is when they really got into top gear, isn't it? From there on in, really. The 1975 48 scale Lancaster, which I've done a review on. I did the downbuster version. And then the 32nd scale Zero A6 M4. Very, very beautiful model, that one. Yes, just remember when you do your Zero to make sure you put your undercarriage legs the right way around. Oops! Oh, less said about that, the better. And then you got these fantastic ships. Became very popular with ship modelers, of course. Tamiya, the USS Enterprise here, with all its many. It's got Hawkeyes, it's got Tomcats, F-14s, F-18s, and it's got some Corsairs on there. It's got just about every naval aircraft the USA can provide on that aircraft carrier. And then here you've got a variety of their ships. The Waterline series, which are very nice, aren't they? A little bit a little less overpowering to work on. It's got the Yorktown there. Is that the Doolittle raid? That's the Doolittle raid here. Can you see that? It's got all the B-25 Mitchells on the deck. How on earth did they get those off? Huh? Incredible. Computer-aided design. Look at these. This is worth a look, isn't it? Just zoom you in for this. I think we need to have a closer look. Computer-aided design. Tamiya's factory. Design division. Look at this. Inspecting the injection moulding. An NC drilling machine is used in Tamiya's tooling division. Overview of the tooling division here. Gosh. Some of their figures. Army tank crew set dating back to 1968. How about that? That's impressive, isn't it? Wow. Different genres now then. This is a general sort of discussion about genres of models, vehicles, race cars. You've got film tie-ins and TV tie-ins, TV series Charlie's Angels and the Flintstones. There's one of those wonderful Matchbox figure sets, of which I do not have any, and I've really got to get myself some of these. I used to have them all, and I really, really liked them. Again, wonderful artwork, and I just never kept them, or not been able to find them again. Nishimo Spitfire, look at that. Impressive. Dogfight doubles from Airfix. Oh, Beaufighter and 109 G4. I remember that one, don't you? And you got all the Airfix figures. I'm zoomed in too much. Let's come back a bit. All the Airfix figures here. Big ones. And then we're getting into the HO00 scale British World War I infantry. The classic Avro Vulcan from the Falklands campaign, which I have got built, of course. And then also from the Falklands campaign, the Sea Harrier. The 24 scale one, but I have to tell you that's not their finest product by a long chalk. By miles. Well, what's that? Seen it. This is interesting. Adar, Planet of the Apes treehouse in a bottle. This is established by Aurora employees. Adar began life in '72 and released loads of ships in bottles as well. Isn't that interesting? Let me get a bit closer on that one. Something a bit different, isn't it? How bizarre. And then we're getting into other television tie-ins like Doctor Who and the Daleks. The $6 Million Man with Steve Austin. We have the technology, we can rebuild him. And now we gets more bizarre now. NPC, and you've got Lindsay Wagner as the bionic woman who's just operating on her own leg. Don't get much more bizarre than this. Snapped together model kit, and she's on the operating table there. Good lord. And then the Dennis Fisher R2D2. I had that kit. I built it. It was a good one. Enjoyed it. Excellent. Didn't have the others though. Didn't have the Airfix Snow Speeder from The Empire Strikes Back. I didn't have the AMT Star Trek, but I bet a lot of you did, because I know they were very popular in America, and they actually sell fairly well in the UK. Look at this, Lady Penelope's Fab 1 from Thunderbirds. I don't remember that. Lincoln International, who are they? Don't remember that one. Airfix Slave 1 from Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. You can't call it Slave 1 anymore, it's been barred. They've renamed it, what do they call it? Killer 1 or something, I don't know. Stupid. More nonsense, you know. PC rubbish. But anyway, scale models, Daleks, Doctor Who and the Daleks, Dawn of the Daleks, look at that. Kit collecting, Model Village, and then it's just sort of going off into various different genres here now really. Frog, Spitfire, doesn't look a Spitfire to me, that one. No, we do get one or two that are a bit more familiar too, as I think here. For example, the MiG-15, Russian MiG-15 from Airfix from the Korean War, or their beam engine, which you can see that later on they repackaged it. The SR-73, I had that one, built that. Boomerang, did I do a boomerang? Don't remember that one. I remember the kit, I don't remember building it. And then some of the PR and promotional material, so Airfix plastic kits here, just like the real thing. That was their tagline, just like the real thing. Classic ships of history. Frog from every angle, Frog is supreme, look at that. Just like the real thing with the Airfix airliners, and my personal favourite, the Matchbox Kits catalogue. That's their very first one as well, 74-75, the first catalogue they produced. I like it because it shows the boxes with the artwork and then the finished versions at the front. Quite like that. A bit like I do for you see. And then we've got Clipper ship models. What's the page there? The Omnibus 1910 Type B bus, Airfix. And then we've got, who's that? US Airfix, that's interesting. United States Airfix Bronco. An Aurora, a Messerschmitt 109F. Flying White House. US Airfix again. Oh, okay, so it's obviously a license deal to produce them in America. The Folland Gnat, of course, became the training aircraft and famous for being in the Red Arrows in the 1970s. And then you've got these figures, posable figures, which I do not really remember. Airfix Eagles. A set of eminently collectible figures. Commando, Paratrooper, Scuba Diver. And there's an adventure set, underwater adventure set, Jaws of the Jungle. Very weird, I don't remember those at all. Where were they produced? Were they produced in America? I don't know. I need to read the book in more detail. The Ford 3-litre GT, 1969. It's a GT40 prototype, wasn't it, basically? And then you've got the Handley Page 0400. A huge, great World War I bomber, if ever you saw one. And then the Airfix by Mastercraft. Craftmaster USA, version of the Airfix Swordfish. I think that's just a reboxing somehow. And then Triang. They do model kits as well, I didn't know that. I don't recall. Triang were known for their children's toys, really. And then you got the Brute Force Dragster here. And you got some interesting ones. Airfix. This is the Rampaging Scorpion, sort of a horror type theme. Or the Colossal Praying Mantis. Attack City. And then the Phantom F4B blasting off on a Vietnam attack mission. And we talked about this before. Here's the famous Airfix paint pots. Look at that. Before they were bought by Humbrol, they had their own paint brand, which is almost certainly why Humbrol bought them, because they saw them as a threat. But no bad things. It wasn't great paint, I've got to be honest. Wasn't overly impressed by it. Got American Classic Cars by Airfix here. Then some Revel, Santa Maria. Revel Santa Maria, there we go. Of the Robert Robert E. Lee steam paddle boat. Oh, the HMS Bounty. This is Mutiny, Mr. Christian. Mutiny! All Revell items. They actually do one called Mutiny on the Bounty. It's a tie-in with the movie. Starring Marlon Brando and Trevor Howard. Which was Mr. Christian? Was it? I've never seen the film. Was it Marlon Brando? I think it was, wasn't it? Mutiny, Mr. Christian. You got Revell's Street Machine. You got the rather wacky-looking Beetle Street Racer, and then we got. I remember this one. Never had this one. I had the Saturn V, but I didn't have the Saturn 1B, and I quite wanted it actually. Got to be honest, that's a slightly battered-looking example that he's photographed here, but yes, it was very colourful, great artwork on that one. And then you got the Revell Gemini Mercury capsules as well. Space is really taking off then. And then we've got Revell's 172nd Supermarine Spitfire. And then we've got the Russian Badger, Soviet Badger, military Jeep. And these are the monogram now. Just a wild selection. The future. Oh right, okay. Well, Frog had no future, did they? And of course, new technology and the emergence of service operations in the Far East means it's possible for kit manufacturers to re-release new models from old tools. Yeah, we've seen a bit of that, haven't we? Revell, you know. The Frog Lightning P1 prototype. Look at that. And then we've got Merit. I don't remember those guys. Merit super kit. Was it 4.5 litre Largo Talbot race car, 1949. And then yeah, there's just one or two of the odd ones, and then we sort of finished the book. Really, that's kind of it. To be honest, that's how it ends. So interesting, very interesting. I've got to be honest. It lacks a bit of focus for me. That book does. And you'll have all seen that I did the Matchbox book as well. I'll put you a link to that another book that I did recently, the Airfix book. But there you go, some very interesting images, and it does bring back a few memories. The best memory for me in there, I think, is that FN rifle from Airfix, which I really enjoyed. Anyway, there we are. I hope you enjoyed that. I thought it was interesting. Certainly brings back some memories to many of us, I'm sure. And there's quite a lot of American stuff in there, so I'm sure you guys across the pond will have enjoyed it too. Hope you thought it was of value and interested you. Hope you'll give us a thumbs up. Marks out of 10, I think I'll give that a sort of 7.5, 8, because I think he doesn't cover things like, you know, Monogram and some of those brands as much as he ought to have done, really. Sort of glosses over Hasegawa, and he only concentrates really on Airfix and Samyar, really, in the book, doesn't he, as a brand, you know. So it's a bit of a shame, a bit of a wasted opportunity. I think you could have done a bit more with some of those other guys. But I hope you found it interesting. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to be back to you with some other interesting new things in the not too distant future. Some more updates on my Mosquito. I've been doing some more painting on that. Painting on the sprue as well. I've got the sprue hung up in front of me. I won't show you now. I'll show you the next update video next month. Anyway, in the meantime, till next time, thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, give us a like, 10 out of 10. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. And if you have, don't forget to click on the notification bell and ding the all option, because you'll get all the very latest updates of many new videos I'm shooting. And until next time, thanks very much for watching. Please take care of yourselves. Thanks a lot. Until next time, bye for now.